近年急速に進むグローバル化。日々人、物、そして情報が目まぐるしく世界中を駆け巡っている。そんな国際社会の中で生き抜くための人材を育成するある英会話教室の成功の秘密に迫る。愛知県千種区、とあるビルに元気よく集まる子どもたち。彼らが話しているのは、そう英語だ。名古屋市でこのアライブイングリッシュスクール千種校のほか、東校、熱田本校、本山校と4つの英会話教室を運営する株式会社アライブ。その独自の教育方法が話題を呼び、徐々に口コミが広がり、今や県外からも生徒が通う注目の英会話教室へと成長した。生きる力、未来を切り開く力を育むを経営理念に掲げ、とにかく英語で話すことを重視している。さらにアライブでは外国人講師とサポート役となる日本人スタッフで授業を運営している。日本人スタッフは授業のサポートはもちろん、学習の進み具合や生徒のモチベーション管理、カリキュラムの進捗などを細かくチェックしている。そんな協力体制のもと行われるアライブの英語教育にはもう一つ大きな特徴がある。それは体験授業だ。実際に白衣を着て科学の授業を行ったり、時には料理の授業も行う。さらにはクラスを飛び出し、水族館やキャンプなどの企画も多く行っている。アライブではできるだけ本物に触れ、経験することが記憶に残る最良の方法だと考えている。英語を使い、科学や社会、そして時事問題など幅広いテーマで議論を行うこともある。英語教育を通して人間力を高め、自立した生徒を育てることを目指しているのだ。
We have a wonderful concept for our students. It's the power to live, and to live as responsible individuals and a responsible part of society. I think those are the two main elements of the three that we focus on. That's really the key, and I think that it shows a lot that we really do focus on that, and some of the things that we do in our lessons. In fact, you'll probably see that today, and some of the things that we're going to do. Focus on the power to live as individuals, responsible individuals, and to be able to be a productive part of society when they're older, and to have an understanding of what it's like to be a part of this world and a part of your community.
そう語るのは講師のフィリップ・ベノワル。日本人との結婚を機に15年前に来日。スタッフからの信頼も厚い人気のベテラン講師だ。
I was teaching prior to coming to Alive, but teaching in a very different way. I was teaching for a very large chain school, and it was a different environment, a different atmosphere, and a different purpose. It was something that there was a big emphasis on fun and less emphasis on education. One of the biggest changes for me, and something that rekindled a spark, if you will, in teaching, was coming to Alive. The ability to be creative, the ability to focus on speaking, the ability to manage my students in a classroom setting were all key for me, and is part of what makes teaching for me every day a wonderful experience.
アライブでは英語を話す目的が明確に設定されている。自分の意見を持ち、はっきりと主張するということだ。それが他の英会話スクールとアライブが一線を画す最大の理由でもある。しかしそれは英語を母国語としない日本人にとって決して簡単なことではない。
I was very nervous when I first came here. It was challenging for me as a teacher. Can I do it? Can I develop speaking skills as close to native speaking level as possible here in Japan, without kids living in a second language environment on a daily basis. Could I do it? Whatever I could do, I worked hard at developing myself as a teacher and my lesson to fit my students' needs as it exists with our company's policies. I was nervous, but I was excited about the challenge.
子どもたちにある問題に対して自分の意見を言わせるためには、そのトピックに関するさまざまな情報や知識を持たせなくてはならない。講師にかかるプレッシャーも大きいものになる。
My understanding of that conversation was that speaking is part of their development as individuals. You know, being a well-rounded individual with the ability to express themselves and their opinions is very important. Speaking of being very important, but also the vocabulary and grammar that is related to that. You can't speak if you don't know how to speak. So we need to be able to do both. So we have very well-rounded individuals that are able to follow our company's policies in terms of our belief. But we also have students who are developing a wonderful vocabulary base and able to express themselves. And that was the overall point that I got from my first meeting with Ms. Mitsui, which very much impressed me. Well, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about fairness because there's so many different things. Do you think it's possible to be fair to everyone?
No.
No, it's not. That's a good answer. It's an honest answer. I like that. What do you guys think? Ryo, how about you, buddy? No.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. Why not? I like your answer. It's honest. Why should you not be fair to everyone? How about this? What if I had a chocolate candy bar? And let's say I had just these three boys here with me, Masa, Hinata, and Ryo. I had a chocolate candy bar. Now I could do two things. I could cut it evenly and give everyone a fair piece, or I could just three pieces. He gets a small piece, he gets a big piece, but Ryo gets the biggest piece. Is that fair?
No.
So should I try and be fair?
Sometimes
Yes or no?
yes.
Sometimes yes. Well, you went from no, and then you went to sometimes. Do you think I should always try and be fair? Yes or no? No, I should not try and treat everyone equally. That's no good. Should I or should I not?
No.
Are you in the middle? That means no. If you're in the middle, that means you're unsure. If you're unsure, that means no. And that's not a bad answer, so don't feel bad. It's your opinion, and that's important. It's what you think. Your opinion is very, very important in everything that you do. How should you treat people who are not fair to you? If I gave the biggest piece of chocolate to Ryo, should Masamichi and Hinata treat me fairly? I didn't give them a fair piece of chocolate.
No.
What do you think? No, they shouldn't. Why? You're mad because you only got a small piece of chocolate, right?
子どもたちがどうすれば自分の意見が言えるようになるのか、フィリップは大きな問題に直面していた。
It's quite a difference. English is culturally we are taught to have an opinion and to speak about those opinions. We're raised that it's okay to have a voice, an independent voice, at least in my country, and that we use that voice, and we are encouraged to use that voice, especially when we are younger. Coming and teaching here in Japan has been interesting and challenging in that aspect, where it's quite often you meet silence. You don't have not so much the desire, because I think the kids want to tell you their opinion, but in some ways I feel as if they are not really programmed, but understand that it's not always okay to give your opinion. So I think as a teacher, a certain amount of comfort is very important in our class. A certain amount of understanding that children need to have when trying to use English, not just learn English, is that it is okay in this class and outside of this class that you give an opinion. It is expected of you to have a voice when you interact in many situations in English. And we at times have difficulty or struggle with getting the children to come out with their opinion and to express their opinion on certain topics. So it's part of the things that we work on as an English teacher here at Alive, because we expect so much in our development of our students in all aspects. So that's one of the things that we work on the most, is expressing your opinion and understanding that it's okay to have your opinion.
授業を終えたフィリップが向かったのはアライブ東校。この日、各教室の講師が集まり、カリキュラムの進捗や今後のスケジュールを話し合うミーティングが行われた。
We can give homework.
It's one thing that we have to think about is constantly getting them to speak up and speak out and have an opinion and not be so neutral all the time. It's essential.
For higher level kids, I kind of like brainstorming, like putting ideas up on the board and everybody can see what you're kind of trying to teach. And then I like showing my students the sentence structure, how to actually make that sentence, and like what words you can change. And then I do practicing, whether it's group or individual, practicing it. And then for homework, giving each student a question, and each student has to be able to think of their answer for homework and then explain it the next week. But also I like to get them to learn how to make the questions. It's okay being able to answer it, but if you go to America, you're not just going to answer everything, you're going to ask as well. So it's teaching them how to ask and answer. I think showing them the structures on the board is very important too.
So I think the topic should be really simple and straightforward, and so that even shy students can say their own opinion, I think.
Not only the topic, the theme, but the word as well. For example, it's like a disease, so it's like a bit hard to understand. But sometimes teacher can say not disease, but the sick, then kids can get it, the meaning of the disease or something, so that they could use the word of the disease after they explain sick is kind of sick, disease kind of sick.
And there's a lot of focus on just us teaching at school, but also the home is very important. Even if you are unable to speak English, there are still videos or CDs or something that your child can listen to or read in very simple language so that they can remember the topics that we talked about that day. If we talk about something and they go home and it's not revisited or reinforced, they're completely going to forget about it. So I understand that maybe the moms and dads don't speak the language, but with the level of technology that we have in the world today, it's really simple to go onto YouTube and to find a video for the kids to watch. So it's not only at school, it has to be at home also. And I think with a lot of the kids that are very vocal, it's because their mommies and daddies talk to them immediately after the lesson, or they ask us questions, how can we do this at home? What book did you read? What was today's topic? Can you tell me a little bit about it? I think those things will help improve how the kids retain information. It can't only be in school, it has to be at home as well.
Yeah, it's triangles, teacher, student, home, teacher, student. It's a triangle. If you don't have the triangle, it doesn't work.
Exactly. We need to have a trial period where they're able to use a little bit of Japanese to express themselves, and we can say to them, you know, this one time it's okay, tell me, or whisper in my ear, or tell the staff, and then we'll translate it. We can also use that as a teaching point for new vocabulary.
I've seen teachers do it, and it does open a can of worms. All of a sudden now every other word is Japanese, and kids come in knowing that they can do that. So it may affect what they're doing at home in terms of their homework, how they approach their homework. So I think you have to be very careful with that. I think one of the concerns that I've had, and I know other teachers have had in the past, is too many games. Kids are coming in and every aspect of their lesson is related to a game. And then when they come to someone else's lesson on a different day, they expect the same thing. And they're not getting that. So I think there needs to be some uniformity with that throughout the classes. That we have fun, but it's limited fun. Exactly. It can't be game time every time, all the time.
At the first time they could have fun a lot, but at the end, like in March, of course, I don't think they learn a lot of stuff because they're just doing it only games something, so that's why. So that's why I'm honestly, I'm sorry, I don't want the teacher to play with them all the time, but just like you said, like a limited fun. It's really great idea to do.
分かりやすく楽しい授業を行うことも時には重要だ。しかしその方法で学んだ子どもたちは将来実際に英語が必要になった時に本当に通用するのだろうか。フィリップは同僚の講師に相談を持ちかけた。
And so we talked about truthfulness and fairness, all sorts of different topics on good character. It's been good. It's challenging though because the kids are stumped.
It's tough for them for now, but again, if you think it's a long-term process, that's what they need the most.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to some of the teachers today. Like, don't worry about the fact that you think you're struggling in that class. If the kids are silent, that's fine. It takes time. It's not like the kids walk into the class, you teach them something, they internalize it, and everything's good and fun and done. It's not that way. It's a step-by-step process. I keep telling that to the teachers.
At the end of the day, we're not only teaching English, but we're teaching themes using English, different things around what they need to share their ideas in the world through English, right? So I think seasonal school it's challenging for the teachers. That's what the concern they have it, but I think that's what the kid needs the most.
子どもにとって難易度が高くても大切なのは継続して訓練を重ねていくこと。フィリップの思いは確信に変わっていた。
私が海外に留学していた時と勤務をしていた時に海外のいろいろな方と政治や経済文化についてお話しする機会がありました。英語で自分の意見を言うことで世界がすごく広がったなということを感じたのと同時に日常会話だけでは世界に通用しないと考えました。でそれを強く感じたので世界に通用する子どもたちを育てていきたい、そんな学校を作りたいと思って起業いたしました。でアライブの考える未来、生きる力、未来を切り開く力というのはまず知識を習得してその得た知識でもって考える力を養う、そしてその考える力で高いコミュニケーション能力を育成していく、そして培われたその高いコミュニケーション能力を使っていろいろなものを作り上げていく、そんな力を想定しています。その体験をするということはものを触る、やってみる、見てみる、真似てみるということだと思うんです。そしてその体験というのはまさに本物に触れるということだと思うんです。その本物に触れることによって子どもたちの好奇心もっと喚起されたり好奇心が高まってきたりしますし、そしてそこの体験から得た知識というものが本当に子どもたちの人生に将来何らかの影響を与えていく、そう考えていますので体験教育がすごく重要だと思っています。英語力を強化するプログラムとともにキッズビジネススクールとかサイエンスのプログラム、ロボットプログラミングなどさまざまなアカデミックな分野の勉強も取り入れております。でこうしたたくさんの選択肢を子どもたちに与えることによって子どもたちがこの選択肢の中から、自分の得意なものを見つけて、そしてそれを自分の将来の具体像を描いていけれるような未来像を描いていけれるようなスクールにしていきたいと思います。
数日後、フィリップが子どもたちの意見を引き出すための新しい授業が始まろうとしていた。
Why is being fair better? So what you need to do is each of you are going to write down one reason or more. That's it. Okay? Boys, girls. Simple. Okay? And this is a test for each of you. Fairness. Are you going to be fair when you judge the boys? And are the boys going to be fair when they judge you? Okay? You have to judge accurately. Points are up on the board. Okay?
Okay.
They will judge you. 1, not so good. 5, very good. Okay? Okay? Okay. Go ahead. Please begin.
It can make a lot of people feel good. And
4. Be honest. Be fair.
5.
No 3.5s. There's 4, 3, 5,
4.
4, 4.
4.
Are you sure? Your opinion is important, okay? You can have your own score. All right. Next.
It's better because everything will be equal.
Ooh.
I wrote the reason.
Okay, and the reason?
The reason is because it means it's the same.
Why don't you guys meet together? Talk about it. Take a few seconds. Is it a 4? Is it a 5?
4.
4. I'm going to give 2 bonus points. I'm going to go 6 off the chart. A meaning to support your point of view is very good. That gets a bonus too. I'm going 6 on that. Okay, girls, are we ready?
Yes.
It's your turn to be fair.
Okay.
Please be fair with the boys when you judge them. Go ahead.
If you be fair, others will be fair with you too.
Girls?
4 or 3? 4 or 5? 4 or 5 possible. 3, 4, 5. 4. Yes, 4.
4?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Good. Well done.
Not less fighting,
Ooh.
and we can live easier.
Oh, you mean we can live more peacefully?
Yes.
So let me see if I understand. This is good. Please let me help a little bit. If everybody is more fair, then we can live a better life. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
I think that's very deep, very profound. I like it. What do you girls think?
5. More than 5.
So we can do 2 things. We can do the very childish rock, paper, paper, 1, 2, 3, or we can just leave as you both are winners. What do you think? Because I think that is a fair conclusion to our day. That was very good. Well done, guys. Good. That's it. You guys did well today. Thank you very much. Please take this one. Boys, put your ideas up on this window. Girls, put your ideas up on this window.
I got 9 points with my 2 opinions.
That's good.
フィリップが実践したのはトピックに対する考えをまとめさせ、それを紙に書き発表させるというもの。さらにゲーム性を持たせ授業を楽しくさせることで子どもたちの意見が出た。そして紛れもなくそこには子どもたちが必死になって考え、自分の意見を言おうとする姿があった。
That's part of the process of a long process, and sometimes that's the best form of internalization when the students certainly understand that they can see themselves that they've achieved something. But what's even more amazing is when as a teacher you pointed out, hey guys, look at yourself, see what you're doing now. You couldn't do that a little while ago. A few weeks ago you were struggling with it, but look at you now, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. And then when you point that out, that amazement is something that just, for me personally, it blows me away as a teacher. It makes me feel so good.
相手の意見に対し英語で自分の意見をぶつけることができる。それがグローバル社会で生き抜くための必須条件であり、アライブが最も力を入れているポイントだ。英語を学ぶ以上の価値を提供する。その付加価値こそアライブを成功に導いた要因なのかもしれない。